amidst all the gloom and doom, and there is a lot of gloom and doom because situation in Delhi is not yet stabilized, and we are hoping we are reaching an end game like Mumbai has, but we are probably still a few weeks away from that. And the situation in other parts of the country is looking very grim. My feedback from Bengaluru is very tough. Beds have almost become impossible to get. Oxygen beds in Kolkata is now the same. And believe it or not, private offices in Kolkata are still open. I'm still not figuring out what we are doing now. The logic of system is failing. But the little bit of heartening news come this Monday is that in Haryana, in Delhi, the 18 plus vaccinations have indeed begun. They're not happening in the lakhs and lakhs, but they're happening in the tens of thousands, both in terms of private facilities that are offering a few thousand jabs a day, and of course in Delhi government schools. It has begun today, and Delhi government clinics, it has begun today, and lines are being formed. It is a line, it's a patient line, but the jabs have begun today. Let me quickly open up this broadcast. Padma Shri Dr. Mohsin Wali joining us on the broadcast as well. Dr. Ishwar Gilada is with us, and of course, Dr. MC Mishra is with us as well. Dr. Wali, can I just quickly begin with you? For the people now, it's a very real thing in now going to get a vaccine. Now, at whatever vaccine center, however much you have an appointment, things are going to take their due course. It's going to be a 2 or 3 hour line. How do you then ensure that the vaccine don't become clusters?
Well, there has to be a manpower force to control the crowd. We do not know the volume of crowds at any place, howsoever we fix the appointments and times. So manually and personally, it should be supervised. By now, most of the people know that they have to stand apart. But the reason why you are asking this question is that this is not being implemented.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult to implement. You know, good news you have given for 2 states. I have seen schools showing vaccination. The crowd in the morning was not thick. Now the crowd will build up. The best time to build up for the crowd is 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And at that time, we have to really watch the density of the crowd and manually separate the people. So there has to be some staff. And in schools, there is always some staff at the gate, some staff inside, and they can be called if they are not called.
Okay, Dr. Wali, I'm going to ask a very practical question, sir.
Yes.
At least in the schools themselves, at least the lines are forming outdoors in the fields and the courtyard. So that's obviously a beneficial thing versus going into a closed room,
Yes.
100, 200
Yes.
people together. Dr. Wali, this 30-minute waiting period. I mean, what after 150 million doses has the time come to review this?
Yes, yes, cool. We have to be seeing the capacity. If the existing capacity is less, augment the capacity. More nurses, more compounders. You know, giving the vaccine doesn't take much time.
Yeah.
But you see, some paperwork is also being done simultaneously. So we should separate that paperwork space and in bits and bits. So many counters so that people are divided. And then after the paperwork, person goes, quick vaccine, injection, and then he sits, waits for half an hour, goes home. This should be the routine. See, one has to be, you have used very right word, practical. You see, we have to be practical in everything. You see, this is what is happening.
Ask the obvious next practical question, Dr. Wali. Should we review the 30-minute waiting time? And if the waiting time has to happen, can we do waiting in fields and parks outside rather than in closed rooms?
Exactly. If it is in the school, yes, in the classrooms, you can arrange the chairs. You can split the people. When there is a school, there are classrooms, there are chairs, there is waiting area. Only you have to switch on the fan. Weather is not that bad inside. So you have to be separating the people so that we have made an observation that some people who have gone through vaccination, they have doubts in their mind. Why do they have corona? And there is some work also going on, which we don't have data so far. So that assumption that if I will go for vaccination, I may have corona, so it should be removed from the mind. Practically, what I believe is that when they mix up in the crowds, and as you tell, this is one of the reasons why people are showing numbers.
Okay, so I'm going to ask practical question. Dr. Mishra, can we now relieve institutions like AIIMS and other health institutions, because vaccination only requires one doctor just in case of an emergency, and it's pretty easy to perform. Any nurse or compounder can do it. It only takes 30 seconds. Can we relieve this? Is this a model that take it away from the hospitals and clinics? So there are these large crowds that are going to gather, even if a center is doing 200 or 300 a day. That's a large crowd of 300 people. Can we now relieve the pressure from the hospitals, at least in Delhi, and shift the vaccinations away to schools and other colleges and other things like that?
Yeah, that would be ideal if we can do that. Like Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium can be used for mass vaccination programs. You have a huge space there. But as far as AIIMS is concerned, AIIMS has done very well, I must say, because I have got 2 jabs there. Today I got the second one of Covaxin, 11 o'clock. So they give appointment. They are doing almost 500, 600 daily. And they reach maximum 1,000. And from 9 a.m. to until 5 p.m. they are doing. So it is, appointments are given, slots are given accordingly. So there are no huge crowds at one point of time. But and the same thing will happen when they open it up. As far as government hospitals are concerned, Delhi government has yet not decided whether they'll be giving to, because until now they were getting vaccines doses from the Delhi government. But now it's uncertain whether Delhi government will give the doses to government hospitals or central government.
Hang on, let me then just take your mind on this, because for people watching the broadcast, the 45 plus age category
is ongoing.
Is to come from the center. Okay?
It's ongoing. It's already ongoing.
Yeah, so 18 plus category is to be done by the state or by private. So the quotas are too different. Now, I think what Dr. Mishra is saying is that now that the quota system has changed a little bit, we don't know, currently from my best understanding, Dr. Mishra, the center still allocates to the state, and then the state has to say, okay, the central allocation we are sending to the 45 plus area, and the state allocation we are sending separately to the 18 plus area. And you're saying there's a little bit of confusion regarding that right now.
Yeah, it's because AIIMS is not doing 18 to 44 right now. Correct. They are doing only 45 plus.
Okay, correct. So we need a little bit of clarity on that. Dr. Gilala, the question I was trying to pose was, we already have a stressed healthcare system. What is the practical value that the vaccination part of this now we can take outside the hospitals and clinics and go into the schools, colleges, stadiums? Because the vaccination doing in a banquet hall is more likely than treating patients in banquet hall.
Rishabh, the vaccination policy has to be revisited for 2-3 reasons. We have opened up to people without understanding how many people will be coming everywhere. As a result, what has happened in Maharashtra, including Mumbai, that they stopped vaccination of 45 plus for last 2 days, and another 2 or 3 days there will be no vaccination. And whatever vaccine they have received, they are using for 18 to 45. I think for first and second, they have just done a token vaccination of 1,000, 2,000 people. We don't want tokenism. Secondly, what we need to do is Supreme Court last night passed an order. They were also surprised. Supreme Court was also surprised. How come there are different pricing for central government, state government, and private? There has to be some kind of unanimity. Probably the government of India would think over that and come out with another parameter, whatever they want to decide. Thirdly, I have been saying for last so many months or weeks that we have so many doctors available, so many clinics available, so many hospitals available. We don't want to reinvent the wheel. We allow all the doctors in the country to have a medical degree which is registered with their particular medical council to give vaccination. If you want to control vaccination, you can deploy somebody from a particular ward office or government office to record all those things on your COVID app.
The only reason I'm asking this question, Dr. Gilada, is because whatever it is, even if a one room plus one waiting area plus one queue line is being utilized in institutions which are hospitals, which are treating COVID patients, we don't have that luxury right now. How much of this can be outsourced outside the hospital community?
That's what I'm saying. We can put 100% burden on the private practitioners, primary health centers, secondary health centers, sub-centers and taluka places, so that it will go to every corner of the country. Because we have 12,70,000 MBBS doctors and 4 lakh postgraduate doctors, out of which even if 10 or 20% are used, we can still do 1 crore a day vaccination.
Okay, so let me ask that practical question. Dr. Goyal is also with us. Dr. Goyal, I'm just asking practical questions. One, of course, that if the vaccines are happening in schoolyards where at least there is a large field, so people are not clustered in a room together, that's a practical thing. Maybe the waiting post the vaccination, which only requires monitoring for half an hour, maybe that can be done in an open area also. In some of these schools and colleges, stadiums is possible. The practical question is the doctors who are not in hospitals. Now, a lot of doctors who have private practices are also aligned with hospitals, but there are certain general physicians who don't work. They have clinics and can go around. Has the time come to rope in these people to at least take the vaccination burden away from hospitals and clinics?
Rishabh, it sounds obviously very lucrative that it should go to the masses, and as many people we can vaccinate as quickly. That is the trump card. But I think the concern which government has, and this is what I'm assuming, I haven't spoken to anybody, is that if we give it to masses, the chances of black marketing or hoardings are higher. That is why I think the government at this point of time is trying to control the vaccination, but they can still do much better. I think there are two parts to it. One, they should have a proper strategy, as you and Dr. Mishra were saying, that we need to sit down first, make a drawing board that what is the strategy, and then execute it. At this point of time, there seems to be a lot of confusion in allotment of the vaccination and the cost of the vaccination.
I'll give you the primary confusion in Delhi, which we've noticed over the past 24 hours, that in the 45 plus category, there are separate centers, which is probably a good thing. 18 plus is separate. Now, the problem is a lot of the 45 plus centers have easily booking available. It's almost empty. 18 plus is all maxed out. Now, the vaccine is exactly the same. I'm hoping that we're not wasting doses lying around because we're doing category differentiation from one place to the other.
I think 45 plus still is not happening the way it should, because for my wife, I wanted to give a second vaccination, and I was told that at this point of time, we are not giving 45 plus. But 18 plus is going on. So there is still some confusion what is happening. It's not very clear in all the centers. Different centers are practicing different philosophy. And that is where I think the orders and the communication needs to be crystal clear from the government, whether it's the state government or central government, that what is the quota, what is the hierarchy, what is happening. I think there is still a lot of confusion about that.
Okay. And why are the 45 plus, Dr. Goel? Because I've had the same problem. Now there are two people, security guard in Mali, because in the family now they were waiting for their second dose, and I'm trying to get as many people around the house registered, because for them the computer and CoWIN is not comfortable with them. So driver and family are going today. The second dose of Covaxin and Covishield. Now some of the places are informing you which is what they're offering. In a lot of the places not listed. So how do we solve this problem?
Again, that is where the communication needs to be crystal clear, and each hospital or each vaccination center needs to put up very clearly on their website that what are they offering and at what cost. So that is so you can choose, because if I have taken a Covishield as a first vaccine, I would like the Covishield to be the second vaccine.
Obviously, that's what you need. We can't experiment yet.
So that's what I'm saying. There seems to be some.
Okay. Yeah. So we are making progress. Let's eliminate the practical problem. So Dr. Bali, one obvious practical problem is that we need all the clinics to be able to list which vaccine they're offering, because the biggest problem I'm facing right now, and a practical thing, is figuring out. Some are saying Covaxin, some are saying Covishield, but many don't say anything. And I'm assuming when you say nothing, probably it'll be Covishield, because that's the larger vaccine dose out there. So unless it's specifically identified Covaxin, the clinic that was vaccinating in our locality is no longer vaccinating, so can't go back there. So this is one practical problem. The other larger problem is that what is the level of qualification required, sir, to monitor someone, and what is the equipment required to monitor someone for anaphylactic shock? Is it just the EpiPen or something, or is some serious equipment required?
No, normally we presume that, first let me answer your first question. The vaccines availability and some centers closing, some have stopped giving vaccination. You see, these vaccines are distributed through the DM's offices. What we call it PNDT offices are also located there. Then there are the DM's offices which are distributing as a CMOs of the area. The CMO is distributing, and last time I said that more people should come forward and should volunteer for giving these vaccines, and that has not yet happened, because you have to keep a stock and accounting and storage, all the three things in order. And they are sending testing customers also to these centers in plain clothes or and they are asking them to give them out of turn. This is happening in my area, and they are very much vigilant on what is happening in these centers. That's a good thing. Now, when these centers are giving vaccine, usually they are getting, the major areas are getting supply of Covishield.
Correct.
Less people have got Covaxin, especially from AIIMS, as Dr. Sabha has taken today. And this is available at 10%. In the tune of 90%, this is Covishield.
Correct.
Agreed? So there is largely 90% patients. Only confusion which you told is to the point that the center has stopped functioning. This is one. So they have to find out and go to a center which is offering Covishield. Usually they will find it nearby, next door. Okay, this is. And second thing, yes, when the reaction will occur, it will not be very severe. Anaphylactic shock is, on our days, used to happen from penicillin injection. And doctors in all the clinics used to have a chart how to manage an anaphylactic shock. I still remember the doctor I used to go, on his wall there was calendar type charts how to manage anaphylactic shock. This kind of thing does not happen with this vaccine. I am very sure about it. People have shock type, just like functional fainting, which we call as just psychological, or they have, mostly they have pain. Okay. They may not have any anaphylactic shock unless they are allergic to one of the ingredients.
What I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to come down is that there are resources of trained manpower which are being overutilized under extreme duress and stress.
Yes.
But we have general physicians who are under stress, obviously, but are not in an ICU hospital locality. So I'm trying to say what level of expertise is required. Or Dr. Mishra, can we... finish your thought, Dr. Wali. Go ahead, please finish your thought.
Yeah. Largely the patients who are being, the volunteers and the recipients of the vaccine who are going to these centers, they are being administered by either freshly recruited paramedical staff or the already existing paramedical staff under the supervision of a medical person.
Okay.
And these kind of things are not happening.
Okay.
But
So
what we have to be prepared with an emergency tray which has basic ingredients in which we have anti-allergic and steroid, and in the serious cases adrenaline. That would complete the list. And later on we can monitor
all
blood
of them are
pressure.
injections which can be given on spot. Okay. Dr. Mishra, I'm just trying to just figure out, I mean, what is the labor force that we can bring to bear because if we want to do rapid vaccination, and with every week that passes, vaccination production in India will go up, it's not going to go down. Now that Sputnik has arrived a day before yesterday, and I'm assuming by the end of the month, a few million doses of that will be available. So one clear demarcation of which vaccine in which center, that's one, obviously. And if we are outsourcing it outside hospitals and clinics, sir, can we rope in general physicians to start giving the vaccine?
Yeah, I mean, basically, as Dr. Wali mentioned, the vaccine generally is not given by a doctor. If we want to capacity build, we can recruit undergraduates, train them. I was involved in a smallpox vaccination program way back in 1973, 75. And I was a medical student at that time. And we were doing that, putting the vaccine here on the arm, forearm at that time. And we just were told how to give it and we were giving it. So it's not a very high-tech thing. It needs to be given here. And even there's no need to be a doctor around. As Dr. Wali is saying, this anaphylactic reaction of serious nature is 1 in a million or maybe even less than that. We have vaccinated 15 crore plus people in India, and we haven't heard that somebody has died of anaphylactic shock because of vaccination. So far, we haven't heard that. There have been deaths following vaccination for various other reasons, but not because of vaccination. So vaccine is largely safe. 99.99% it is safe. The only minor side effects will happen. We don't need doctors to vaccinate, but we can surely recruit and co-opt our more nurses, nursing students who are just passing out, interns. And interns, there are a large number of interns now come out after final year exam. They can be roped in, and it can be easily done, capacity build, if that is so required.
Okay, now last troubleshooting, Dr. Gilada, this slight confusion that has happened. Now, obviously, you need to allocate vaccines for those who need a second shot, because if the Second shot is, I mean, you can plus minus couple of weeks is fine, but you can't do plus minus 2 months. So you need to do that allocation. But at the same time, you want to get out the vaccines as fast as possible. Now, somebody who is, now it's a voluntary process. So when your date for revaccination second shot comes, you might not go on that day. You might go a week later. So if somebody has done the mathematics and kept that shot away for you, you don't know when you're going to claim it. So in that time, these slots are going empty. So how do we now rationalize? What's your thought on rationalizing these two separate quotas?
On CoWIN app, there should be one thing for first dose and one thing for the second dose. Number two, we have to clear out to people that it need not be on exactly on 28th day or 30th day for Covaxin, and for Covishield it can be between 8 to 12 weeks also, though the government of India says 6 to 8 weeks. So it's not hard and fast, they should take vaccine on a particular day as per the alert they get. Secondly, there has to be a different queue at different places, like in Nair Hospital where I went for vaccination. For second vaccinators or second doses, there was a different. So that becomes a little bit quicker because everything is already certified.
So now they are dividing centers. So there's a 45 plus center and 18 plus center. 18 plus center are not doing 45 plus.
Yeah, 45
other than very big places like AIIMS, they're not mixing. I think AIIMS also is not doing 18 plus right now.
No, in that also there are two queues, first dose and second dose.
Yeah.
Because second dose, you don't require a lot of verification. It's already verified. You just have to check phone number and you immediately send. For the first doses, you have to check everything, whether you are in a particular category or not.
Okay.
So they do that, then it is easier.
But Dr. Gadar, my issue is that the quota now being put for 45 plus, if it's not being utilized, which is a central quota, now again we have confusion, no? Central quota, which is being underutilized now, but the 18 plus quota, which is being maxed out, how do we then rationalize? Should there just be one quota, finish it off?
Rishabh, they have put vaccination center not as per the population in that locality. So suppose in one locality you have put 4 vaccination center, in another locality there are more people and there is only one vaccination center, that will be overwhelmed and here it will be empty. That is one issue. Secondly, they should augment and see if that is not working, okay, only for 2 hours it will be for senior people, other time it will be for other people. So they can change the timetable out there. And thirdly, they should put it clearly, is a Covishield vaccination center or Covaxin vaccination center. So that also signifies people that yes,
Okay, Dr. Goyal, same thought to you, because I'm just seeing the practical issues, and this is not just in Delhi, that now there are certain places in which the 45 plus is in high demand, but the 18 plus slots are vacant. Okay. And other places, in Delhi is an example where the 45 plus slots are not in high demand. You can get one booking even right now. But for 18 plus slots are maxed out because the quotas are different, the vaccine is the same. How do we rationalize this, sir?
I think as our Prime Minister keeps saying, one nation, one election, I think this should be followed to the vaccination. One nation, one quota, one strategy for vaccination for all. I think suppose a center can inoculate 1,000 people. It doesn't matter whether the patient is 18 plus, 45 plus, first time, second time, just inoculate 1,000 people, whoever comes, whoever books. That is the only way I can see forward. Otherwise, it is getting so much.
Okay, Dr. Mishra is still concerned.
Yeah, it should be
the second dose.
It should be first come, first serve, and whosoever gets the slot before gets it, whether it is 18 plus, it is 45 plus, 60 plus. So slots are given, like somebody got in a slot on 10th at AIIMS for 45 plus. So he'll come on 10th and he'll get his second jab. The first jab he got it in Agra, second jab he's going to get it at AIIMS. So they informed me his wife could not get a slot because she didn't fall in that category. So I said, bring her with you and request at that time, show your the first jab paper and they'll put in this system.
I'm just talking, okay. So I'm looking at practical. So all of you guys are roughly in consensus that this quota system now of a separate vaccine is the same.
Yeah.
Dr. Wali, should we just get rid of this now?
Yes, it is creating more confusion, and the people who are doing it are more junior. They cannot take decisions at the spot and they have no authority to take decisions. So what we are discussing should percolate from the top, that be lenient or be
flexible. Can I make a suggestion, Dr. Wali, that if the center can say, okay, as per our funding, this is the population of 45 plus in your state. We will fund that, but how you use it, you guys can figure it out. So we'll give you the vaccine quota, but this separation, that center quota can only be used. So this supply of shipment can only be used for this, and this supply and shipment can only be used. So let's get rid of that now, Dr. Wali.
Exactly. You see, the people who are vaccinating, they are the junior staff. They are not aware of all these things which are going at the top. So whatever they are told, they are doing it.
Okay.
They are refusing it at times.
We are sending you the monthly, weekly dose. How you guys separate it out, you can figure it out, but make sure that people are getting the vaccine on time.
Flexibility is the big word.
Okay.
Flexibility.
Last quick thought, because this has been suggested already to organize for offices, for corporates to organize a vaccine camp. Dr. Mishra, how feasible is it? Because a lot of people who are hesitating right now, I have my own staff who are hesitating going to a vaccine center. So I'm saying, okay, maybe we can think of organizing something in our own, courtyard, and somebody can just come in, the entire staff can take a jab, and obviously we employ hundreds of people. Is that a practical step forward?
Oh, yes, it has happened where I live in the same condominium. There are 2 sessions have already undergone. They have taken details from us yesterday itself that who needs vaccination, give us the name. So my wife's mother is at home, so we have given her name, and my wife has to get the second jab. She'll get it here.
Okay, so RWAs, housing societies,
Yes.
Corporate offices. Dr. Gilada.
Yeah, you see, we can make all such places as vaccination centers, or from that particular day, then ask them to come in a batches of 10, so that you open one vial, all 10 can be given. Another 10, so that there's no wastage also. And if suppose there are only 4 people, then you say, okay, well, we'll do some time later when we have other 6 people.
Or find 6 more who are available.
Secondly, what we are saying that it should be open for everybody, but provided everybody is going to get free vaccination. If some are getting paid vaccination, some are getting free vaccination, it will be very big confusion among the staff. And tomorrow, if somebody is given free, they will try to recover amount from their staff. So we need to have a different strategy, whether it's a paid or not. If Government of India comes out that everybody gets free, it's different. And secondly, there will be huge rush between 18 to 45. You need to have a staggered age group, like we do our some kind of airline boarding. 10 to 20 will board now, 20 to 30 will board now.
Yeah,
That is the way.
you're absolutely right. So which is what we've done so far, and maybe we could have done 18, maybe a month later, but okay, now it's happened. Okay, now there are going to be teething issues. Now within a few days, we have to be reasonable. Okay, the initial system was very well organized for 3 months. And now because of the sheer numbers, there are going to be teething problems. I'm just trying to have practical conversation on solving thing. Dr. Goel, getting more RWAs, housing societies, etc. involved.
Absolutely. I think that's the way forward, as Dr. Mishra said. And offices, RWAs, under the supervision of a hospital, if you are worried about hoarding or not properly utilizing, I think keep them under the guidance of an institution. And as Dr. Mishra said, that, final year nurse or final year student, medical student, they are good enough to give vaccines.
Okay.
So we have huge potential to take this vaccination program to the grassroots level, to the masses, to the villages, anywhere.
Yeah. So, okay, these are practical things. So the practical conversation we're having is that the segregation of quota is causing confusion. That's number 1. Number 2, the centers, if they were able to clearly demarcate which vaccine is being given for the people for the second dose, that will make a life a lot easier, so that you know what you're getting, and you need to get a second dose of the same vaccine. You can't get one of one and then the other. And if you go to the center, you can take a booking, but they'll probably turn you away because they'll say on the certificate it says you got Covaxin, and then now you're getting Covishield, they'll turn you away. So that will help. Open area waitings will help in larger places because less people crowding is logical. More places so that less people per place is logical, and having staff that are just adequately trained under a doctor's supervision is enough. We don't need frontline hospitals to be doing it, and these are the conversations we've had. Another conversation is that the price variation is causing a bit of confusion, and that requires a bit of thought. Thank you, gentlemen. It's been a very productive and proactive conversation.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.